Was there any specific therapies or activities at NAT-SU that made a difference for you?
Oh, there were several. So I think intentions group in the morning. We use the medicine, the sage and the sweetgrass or the Palo Santo to bless ourselves. And we go around in a circle around the altar and we pass a talking stick around. And then when it's your turn, you give your intentions for the day and to be intentional on what you want to do for the day and how you're going to achieve that. And then the reflections is the same kind of a process. We use the medicine again to bless ourselves. We use the talking stick, and then we reflect on the day. What went right, what didn't go right, and then we can be more intentional on our intentions in the morning by how our day turned out. So that was really powerful. Some of the groups that I enjoyed was the sweat lodge ceremony. I was a fire tender at one point, and we got to go there before everybody got there and to bless the grounds and to bless the area so that when people come, that they can just feel that peace. We brought the Creator into the group. It's like sacred ground, and to be part of that, it taught me the importance of service. And it kind of went right along with the Wilbriety steps. And that's another one is the Wilbriety 12 steps, the Red Road. The biggest thing that it taught me was that my need to rely on a power greater than myself, whom I choose to call God or the Creator. And then another really big fan group that I'm a big fan of was the cultural healing and the cultural aspect of it. We had the spiritual advisors or the cultural advisors would come in and teach a group. We learned how to bead. We learned how to make dream catchers and little drums. And then they would give traditional stories and lessons in those groups. And I really enjoyed it. It was really fun. Oh, and they go on a lot of outings, hiking, camping, fishing. I had a lot of remarkable experiences on those too.
How would you say it was being able to, experience culture with all different ethnicities and walks of life? How can you explain how that was or how that impacted you or anyone else?
Right off the bat, I think the biggest impact that was made upon me was how welcomed I was. I mean, like from the minute I walked in the door, I felt like family. And so that assimilation into the cultural aspect of it and the traditions, I feel like it was a brotherhood. It was like I just stepped right into a brotherhood or a fellowship. And I know that there's a lot of statistics out there, but I've heard the statistic of you have a 75% greater chance if you join a fellowship. And I can see why. But yeah, everything just felt natural and smooth and accepting. And I think that's one of the biggest lessons of a part of the medicine wheel, that everybody's inclusive from all walks of life.
Was there any challenges you faced during rehab, and how did the clinic help you overcome them?
Oh, there were definitely challenges. So I came in with a lot of pain and a lot of pride, and I didn't all the way know that was the issue. I had created this enmity, like the central core feature of pride. And so I had a hostility against my higher power, against others, or a state of opposition. And one of the biggest things that my recovery coach taught me is in step 3 is when we're turning our will and our lives over to the care of our higher power as we understand him, is that when we go through life with pride in our hearts, we become past the point of feeling, and we're out there kind of on our own in our destructive, self-absorbed way. And it really gave me an opportunity to look at that. And he also brought up a quote from Viktor Frankl: in between stimulus and response, there is that space. And in that space lies our freedom to choose and to create our future. And I think one of the biggest things that helped me in step 3, try not to get emotional, but when my recovery coach had pointed that out, and then I would go about my day in the program, going to groups and stuff like that, I could feel that fear and that enmity built up in different interactions here and there. But I felt the gift given to me like a spiritual experience from the Creator. And it made it so much more simpler when I got further up in the steps to where I needed to do my amends with my family members, friends, people in the community. It gave me spiritual strength that I would never have found. I would have never have found. The humility that I gained. And that was one of the biggest things is the humility is the antidote to that pride. It is the antidote to that enmity or that hostility between the Creator and someone else. So when I went through that process, and it wasn't necessarily easy to do those amends, and eventually I did get every one of my family members to to get back into my life. And now I'm texting them every morning, good morning and good night and all that stuff. And then I crossed into the step 12, where it's returning that to the newcomer. And it's just, and I love that in the Wellbriety with the medicine wheel, because the steps are cyclical. It's seasons, and we just go around and around, and we start over and bring that knowledge and that love, that sunflower, that beauty and that love, we reflect it back to the sun. And they're simple and they're plain and they're precious teachings. And I'm just truly grateful, to have been a part of the program.